Hi there, it's me, Hudson Hodges. Today we're going to be talking about a little bit of gaming news, and it specifically regards the PlayStation 5 and the effects that scalping has had on it and made it so difficult to get one. Now that we have a little bit of a basic understanding of scalping, we can get into the background of the PlayStation 5's market history. The PlayStation 5 within its first year on the market sold around 15 million units, bringing in about $24.1 billion in revenue. That is rather impressive for a console in its first year. However, there was one major caveat in trying to get the PlayStation 5, and that was the fact that it was primarily only sold online for the following months after its release, and even today it's really only sold online. This created a problem since everyone was logging into the same website at the same time to get the same product. So it would go out of stock very quickly, and you had to be on the dot when trying to get one of these things, or else you wouldn't get one. However, people found it excessively difficult to get one of these consoles, even though that was already anticipated. This extreme difficulty to obtain one of these things was primarily due to the fact that scalpers were buying them with bots and programs en masse. So you would get on there, they'd buy them almost instantaneously, and you would have no chance to get one, and they would go out of stock. After looking at some statistics, I found out that around 10% of all units sold were sold by scalpers. This was about 7,322 digital-only consoles and 25,642 disc and digital consoles. That was just on eBay alone. The PlayStation 5 has an MSRP of around $500, with scalpers selling them on eBay from around $900 to upwards of $2,500 for an individual console, one single console. When looking at the numbers on eBay and StockX, they made a total of about $143 million, with $43.2 million for scalpers and $15.9 for eBay, StockX, and PayPal themselves, and the rest goes to Sony, of course. Unfortunately, these scalpers have been able to get away with reselling the PlayStation 5 for an extremely inflated price for as long as they have, is because of the very high demand to own a console. This kind of cycle of reselling the product for a highly inflated price will inevitably lead to a detriment in the longevity that the PlayStation 5 will have. An example of this negative impact is the current shortage of PlayStation 5s for purchase due to a lack of necessary components to make the PlayStation 5. Sony was forced into making a large batch of PlayStation 5s in order to combat how quickly scalpers were snatching them up. Unfortunately, this led to them not having all the components needed to actually make the PlayStation 5 available. I myself wasn't able to obtain one of these consoles till around 6 months after its release. The PlayStation 5 released in around mid-November of 2020, and I actually didn't get my hands on one personally until April of 2021. The only reason I got one is because my uncle was staying up with us late one night, refreshing the website that it was available on, and he just so happened to be able to get through the necessary process in order to actually buy one. The best way to get one of these consoles at the time, and probably now still, is by going to whichever website it's available on, clicking the add to cart button, and if it says it's out of stock, you just have to refresh the website and it'll say add to cart again, and you just have to keep repeating that until it either ran out of stock permanently or you actually got one of these consoles. One of my friends I talked to is still unable to get a console to this very day, and unfortunately I don't believe it'll get any easier anytime soon. However, I believe that's all the time we have today for this little gaming talk. I've been your host, Hudson Hodges, and I greatly appreciate your time. Have a nice day.